Big win by our guys. It's just hard to put it into words. Hadn't really had much time to think about it here, but big win, emotional. The game of football and in a season can have its ebbs and its flows, and I don't think a loss is adversity. I think real life. People are going through that stuff as real adversity, but in terms of football adversity, we've been through some in the last 6 days. Hard conversations, being real with each other, and this win is absolutely credited to our players. When you leave 8 guys in your, 2 of your top 4 corners and 2 of your top 3 receivers at home, your QB, your center, your safety, and and then you get in the game and you start getting guys going down. It's just the essence of team and staying together and pulling together. And when you do it together and you care about each other more than you care about yourself, you can accomplish some special things. And we're certainly not there yet. It's a big win. We'll celebrate it against a very, very good, tough, physical West Virginia football team, very, very well coached. But we will celebrate and then get ready to go to round 3. And it's simply that. We won round 2. We lost round 1, and we just keep moving. So credit to those players in that locker room. I couldn't be more proud of them. So open it up for questions. Don, you want to start us off?
I guess what do you think of the final drive? Henry hitting.
I loved it.
The pass that Henry hit to Geiger, and then 2 of Sir Roderick's, I guess, maybe longest runs of the day, back to back. What happened there to open that up all of a sudden for him?
If we'd have known what happened right now, to be honest with you, we'd have started that with the third quarter. We struggled running the ball in the third quarter. Don, we knew that was part of our keys to victory is running the ball and stopping the run. And honestly, I don't know if we'd run the ball great up into that point. I can just simply say this: when it mattered most, those old linemen, Travis Kuntz and Sir Roderick Thompson, came through when it mattered most. Big throw to KG, a big catch. Henry stood up in the pocket, stepped up in the pocket. Huge drive, and then to be able to run it and to bleed the clock and to manage the clock the rest of the way in and get it down to as low as we could. Again, credit to those old linemen.
How hard is it for a team to have that type of resiliency, after getting punched in the mouth there in that third quarter, then respond the way that they did?
I just think the game of football is hard. It's hard. It's a tough sport played by tough men, and it's there's the ebbs and the flows of the game. It's an emotional game. Again, credit to our guys. We played great fourth quarter defense, won the fourth quarter, stopped the run, ran the ball, started fast. We did everything we wanted to do in this game in terms of our keys to victory, in terms of internally and what we started talking about since Monday.
Was last week's loss remembered and used as a motivation factor, or just forget about it? I mean, it seems like the guys have some sort of chip coming into this week.
I don't think we ever lost our chip, to be honest with you. But I don't think you ever forget a loss like that to an in-state rival. It hurt. It wasn't real fun. Wasn't real fun to watch. Wasn't real fun to talk about. Wasn't real fun to do that. And again, I credit our coaches and our players for having real conversations. I don't think we were ever on the mat. That's what we kept saying in our building. We're not on the mat. Okay, we lost round 1. We owned up to it. We're men about it. And we got to go to work, and we had a lot of good players that didn't make this trip, and so it made it kind of doubly tough.
What do you think of your execution in the first half? Because it seemed like a lot of those drives, everything happened kind of just the way it needed to happen.
Yeah, I think the key again, Don, starting up front. And I think Henry had time. He had time to throw. We had some quick hitters. I think Sonny did a nice job of kind of scheming and getting our guys in some advantageous positions and getting Henry in a rhythm. Credit to Henry. He stayed in a rhythm. He was accurate. But, I probably got to mention those young wideouts. I mean, KG's a senior, and he played well. But, man, my hat's off to Loic Fungi, Jerron Bradley, true freshman, Trey Cleveland, all those young wideouts. With Eric as a commandant here, they stepped up and they played big.
Talking about Henry, especially in that first half, out of necessity, you used Donovan last week, kind of, but what do you like about kind of how he has that little bit of spark in him to bring him in for those couple plays?
No, I think, that was part of the plan. Donovan can run the ball. He can throw it. I think it's just a weapon for us, whether it's running it or throwing it for him. So, I'm sure it'll remain a part of our package somehow, some way, and we'll continue to add and tweak and obviously be game planned each week. But, Donovan came in and the moment wasn't too big for him.
Certainly, you talked about the moment not being too big for someone. You've coached plenty of quarterbacks. Just what does Henry have in terms of that mental factor that gives him that ability to step up when the lights are bright?
Well, first thing is he's a coach's son. He's grown up around the sport. He's tough. He's tough-minded. He's been coached hard. He's kind of got that South Florida confidence and kind of swag. He's confident. He works. He's got the confidence and the trust of his teammates, which is extremely important. And to make the other team guys around you better, I think, is the best quality you can have as a quarterback. And, Tyler is a very good quarterback, and our guys have confidence in him. But when he went down and Henry came in and performed in Austin last week, our guys weren't surprised, and our guys have a lot of confidence in Henry.
Man, at the end of the game, the second half of the fourth quarter, Nate Floyd is in at the middle safety. Obviously, so Coach Si had the rack. Did Reggie get hurt on the play?
Reggie was out too.
He was out.
Yeah.
On the touchdown.
Reggie was out. Kosai was out. Muddy was already at home. DeMarcus was at home. Is that it, Dusty? It's enough.
How busy is Drew Kruger these days?
Drew's earning his money.
Obviously, big drive at the end offensively, you remember, but how big was that red zone stop, though, for you guys?
Huge. To kind of bend and then definitely not break, that was huge because it forced a field goal, no question.
Got time for about two more.
Any of those guys, besides the guys you've already addressed, the injured guys, or any of those other guys that were not here today, that week?
Potentially, Don. I expect a couple of them to be back next week. I think we'll know here in the next, probably by noon to 2:30 on Tuesday, I'll know. Sometime Tuesday afternoon. He knows why I said that, too.
So ask you again next Saturday?
Yeah. I anticipate maybe getting a couple of them back, but we do have a bunch of them that are going to be day-to-day next week.
What do you think happened for after the first half went so about perfectly as well as it could have gone for you?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? What did you feel like happened in the third quarter and first half of the fourth?
What do I feel like happened when? I'm sorry, Don.
What do you feel like happened in the third quarter?
Oh, on offense?
That flipped the game, period, from how it had been in the first half.
Oh, well, you go 3 and out twice, and then the third quarter's over. I mean, I can't recall those drives exactly. You have an incomplete pass, you run it for 5 yards, and you got a 3rd and 5, and you don't convert. I mean, it was kind of real quick. They were quick drives. I'm not sure exactly what happened.
How confident are you in Jonathan now? The fact that once you got it inside the 10, you didn't say throw a pass into the end zone.
No, we were going to try to bleed that clock all the way down and make it as difficult as we could for them. And, Jonathan, I've just been really proud of him, really, over the last 8-9 weeks since we started training camp. Really good. He's practicing well. He's calm. He's been even keel, kind of steely-eyed, and just a very, very consistent young man in his life and in the way he's practiced. And certainly the moment is absolutely not too big for him. He had his moment. Talked about that in our team meeting last night. Meet the moments and the impact that you can have in a moment, and you don't ever know when that moment's coming. Well, Henry had a few today, and JG had one, and he absolutely drilled it.
And staying with special teams for a moment, Winston Wright this year's had a 98-yard kickoff return, a 90-yard kickoff return, I think a 48-yard kickoff return. But I'm sure obviously you kind of very cognizant of that. How did you feel about how your kickoff coach did?
Pretty good. Definitely didn't want to kick it to him in rhythm on the last kick.
And Austin McNamara, a pretty good factor again for you.
Again, I think he punted well, especially we had a couple of those rugby punts he pinned down there pretty deep. So Austin's a weapon for us, and especially in a game like this where the possessions become limited. You got a 20-20 game, 17-20, and you're wondering, you got 12 possessions, the punter's going to come into play pretty big. He came into play in this game last year, played well in Lubbock last year in our game against West Virginia. Very similar game, huh?
All right, thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
Oh yeah, I look bad with the front hat, so look like I'm playing golf.
All right. All right, we'll take questions for quarterback Henry Columbia.
Henry, 2020 game, late fourth quarter, you have the ball on your own 15, 16-yard line. What's got going through your head at that point?
I think I turned to Sir Roderick and I said, this is why I play college football. It's for moments like these. Go operate a game-winning drive. We trust the defense, and we knew that if we got the ball in Gary Bates' hands, we'd be in great hands.
You said that before the drive started, or during it, or after?
I told Sir Roderick, I said, hey, this is what college football is all about. Let's go do this.
When was that?
Before the drive.
Before the drive?
Yeah.
Huh. That's confidence.
Yeah.
On the sideline, or on the field?
Oh, yeah. Actually, right before I snapped the ball.
Talk about last week and what you guys did to put that out of your memory. Was it motivation? What did you guys do all week to just do what you did today?
Yeah, we move on from on Sundays when we go into practice. We wrap the game, win or lose, and we move on from it. And we obviously had a lot to improve on. We didn't play to the best of our ability, and we just wanted to capitalize on our opportunities this week. And we had a great week of practice, and I'm really proud of the guys.
Just in terms of obviously not having Eric out there, what gives you so much confidence in some of those young guys to just kind of at times just throw it up to them and let them get it?
We see them do it every day in practice since spring ball, since camp. Guys like Loic on that fade and the inside fade. He's a guy I trust. He made a huge play last week versus Texas. We have JB stepping up huge today. He had a couple great catches. I remember one in that 2-minute drill. Then obviously guys like KG transferring in, the inside guys. We just have we're just really talented at receiver, so I trust all of them.
Can you take me through that pass on that final drive to Kalen, what you saw and what you
Yeah, so it was just a concept we run. We got the matchup we wanted, KG on their corner. It was a little half roll to the right. I just wanted to make sure I stepped up and got the ball off in time, and I know if I put it out there, he'd come down with it, and that's exactly what he did. He made a great play and he put us in position to win the game.
It seems like in that pocket, some guys have that pocket awareness and some don't. What has given you that ability to be so comfortable knowing to run, when maybe to step up, when you just that sense of what you to do in that?
I think it's just playing ball. Every quarterback has a timer in his head, and when that's starting to run up, you kind of feel it. It's not something that you practice. It's just something that you just kind of get better at. And with a great pass rushing defense like West Virginia, I knew that it was a shorter clock today, but the O-line did a great job protecting me. And I knew I had to step up and let the ball go.
With your team's propensity for what people call explosive plays, over 50 yards, over 40 yards, would you think today was a little bit more methodical?
Yeah, I think that we just kind of took what the defense was giving us. We're capitalizing on what they were running on defense, and I feel like after the first couple of drives, they were kind of playing back a little bit. They didn't want to get beat over the top, and they're giving everything else underneath, so that's what we attacked.
What you guys didn't do so well there right off the bat in the first half that allowed you to have success?
We came out ready to play. We were feeding off one another, offense and defense. Defense got a huge turnover, and we turned it into points. I think running the ball was effective in the first couple of drives, and the RPO game, stuff like that.
Henry, back on the left job for a moment. After you hit the big pass to Kalen, Roderick with a couple of runs for 16 yards and 13 yards.
Mm-hmm.
What was it that opened that up at that point? Because those might have been
Yeah, I think it's just our offense, our O-line, our running back. They just wanted it more at that point. They opened up the hole for Sir Roderick. Roderick. We knew that we had them on their heels. We're about to be in the red zone. A couple more first downs put us in position for Garibay to step up and make the kick. So I think we just really dialed in, and we just wanted to win.
Matt Wells called it South Florida confidence. Can you explain what that is?
Yeah, I mean, well, coming from me, I think it's always an argument, Texas versus California versus Florida, when it comes to high school football. So obviously I'm from South